what brings you to the AI Profit Boardroom?
Well, obviously, I want to learn a bit more about how to, put these AI automation in place for my agency.
Okay. Are there any specific use cases that you're thinking about off the top?
Pretty much agency stuff. We're running an agency of about 30 SEO consultants and content writers, and we're just offering a lot of AI services now, just starting. So there's a whole AI optimization, but I'm looking to automate more of my agency in-house tasks, like the keyword research, and we've got a lot of youngsters in place, so we need some guidance for them.
Great. Are you looking to use N8N to do your automation, or is there another platform you're interested in?
Right now, I've heard about N8N and Make and a few of the others. I'm trying to get some of my team in place to learn about it, but I'm probably on here just so I can guide them. But definitely, I think it'll be N8N seems to be the way to go.
N8N is great. N8N is scalable. Fairly versatile. Last week we looked into Agent Kit, OpenAI's new agentic workflow system, which is cool. But I do think that to get functionality out of it, it seems like you have to just connect it to N8N or Make or something like that anyway. And so you might as well work on your workflows. And then what I tell everybody, when it sounds like you're in a good position to potentially do this, I think a lot of people are trying to automate processes they've never done before. But if you already have an agency and you're already doing this work, then you have those specific details of what you want to automate, and so then that gives you a clear sort of objective, hey, this is we need somebody to automate these blog posts or this emailing campaign or these scheduling tasks, something like that. And since you already have people doing the exact task, it does give you a real target to shoot for instead of just blindly shooting in the dark. But I would suggest, as I suggest to everyone, build things piece by piece. On our AI Profit Boardroom classroom page, there are a bunch of N8N templates that I think can give you a good sense of how to do probably a lot of the different things that potentially you're looking for in your agency. But use those as a jumping off point as, okay, these are the nodes I need to use. These are the general, concepts I need to be doing to get these nodes to work, but then tailor them for what you're trying to do specifically.
Yeah. We're listing every task that we do, and then we're going to take each one and see how we can just build something small just to
Perfect.
learn and then move on with it.
That's the best way to do it. Awesome. Okay. All right.
Thank
well,
you.
If you have any questions or anything else, feel free to raise your hand or turn on your mic or do whatever you want. Let's see. Ian, you're not new. You've been around. Any new Ian videos that you're posting on LinkedIn where you're doing your AI version of yourself? Not yet. Okay.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? That's weird.
I can hear you now.
Yet. Yeah, not yet. I did just the one with the OpenAI thing. That's all I did. I need to do more. That's what I need to automate. I need to get them in and automate the system for myself. Plus, also, that's what I asked the question just then. It's about, they were saying that it's not going to take over N8N, but the OpenAI agents are going to be they're going to be like integration. So it'd be good if we can come to the parties earlier, because you're switched on. And Julian, is it Julian? I'll call him Justin. It's Julian. Figure out a way of, and Vic, figure out a way we can jump in and have some workflows on that. That'd be really cool. That would be really cool to integrate it so we can be ahead of the game.
Yeah. I think I might do one. I already did one last week, but that was just very simple. How just kind of introducing everybody to the platform. But I want to do one in another week or two where we actually connect either to the MCP functionality or using the basically just opening it up a little bit more and trying to use it in a more functional way.
Thinking for the workflow, connect N8N to it, because that's what they're saying. I've been going to some of their forums. They're saying they're more designed to utilize it as an agent type thing, but then have N8N in the background connecting to it.
Yeah, which is, again, it's weird when people said that it was going to kill N8N. When it's well, it seems like it requires N8N to do all these things. So I don't know if it's going to be killing it anytime soon. Cool. David Watkins, I can't tell. David, are you new? Is this your first coaching call or one of your first?
Yeah, I am, and it is.
Okay. What brings you to the AI Profit Boardroom?
I'm just trying to keep abreast of everything that's going on and sometimes feel overwhelmed doing it on my own. I thought this would help.
I feel like that is probably one of the most common things that we hear is that people are overwhelmed by this, that, you know, there is so much AI right now, that I think that people, you really, you know, it's like, well, it's no longer like one singular topic. Basically, every topic has an AI counterpart to it, right? Where like if you're doing marketing, or you're doing operations, or you're doing sales, or you're doing content generation, or whatever you're doing, it's like, oh yeah, they have an AI for that. And then not just one, but 10 different ones, and with different pricing structures or level of technical competency that you need, you know, a certain amount of hype that goes along with it. You know, some of them are just like, here, just type in one sentence and it'll design an entire book for you, and then the book is unreadable. Are there any specific use cases or things that you're interested in with AI to start with?
Sure, and you know, I've been a daily user since the day ChatGPT came out, and I use, that's my primary go-to toy. I use a lot of different tools, and I think that might be part of the problem, is that I'm constantly distracted by the next shiny object and never hunkered down and completed anything, because I'm always learning, right? But I really would like to figure out some great automations to help me in my business, generating really good, thoughtful contracts that are tailored for each of my prospects. And that's, I think, maybe the top thing that I'd like to work on right now. But there's a lot of, you know, different ways that I think it could help me in my business. And that's my primary driver, not building a tool for the outside world, but figuring out how to optimize my business more effectively and efficiently.
I saw this thing, I brought this up before. It really like resonated with me, and I try to keep it in mind as often as I can. Learning is procrastination for smart people or educated people, right? And I do it myself too often. And I think that, like you're saying, like AI, because of the speed that it's moving, because of how many new things there are, as you're saying, there's so many shiny new toys. Even just, you know, like us talking about Agent Kit, right? Where it's like, well, you know, some people, even myself included, we're not totally, you know, absolute experts on how to just like easily wield N8N and, you know, doing everything that we're supposed to in there. Now there's Agent Kit, right? And let's start using that. I do think that it is important to, I try to like, you know, prioritize things and do like, you know, they have, I remember hearing like at Google, they have the thing where it's like, you spend 90% of your job or your time on your actual work, but then like 10% of the time you're allowed to work on something that's like whatever you want to do. And that's where like various different like functionalities that you see in Gmail or on Google came from, was just somebody like interested in a topic and they did it. I think that possibly having, you know, a similar type of ratio where it's like, okay, like there's a certain amount of time where I need to just spend on the platform that I've chosen and that I'm going to get results in, and that this is the job I want to do, this is the task we're going to do, and we're going to focus on that. But then spending 20% of your time chasing shiny new toys, right? And so like, as long, because there is going to be this worry, and I think we all have it, that like, what if we miss that next big thing, right? And how do we know that we're working on something that makes sense and works? I do think that N8N as a platform, you know, has a lot of staying power and does have a lot of functionality and scalability and usability to it. And so if you're able to automate some of your workflows through there, those can last you for a while. And as long as they're providing that ROI, and then really a lot of this, as I've brought up before, isn't as much about the, so in the audio world, they have this phrase, it's not the gear, it's the engineer. And I think that that kind of applies here, where N8N is just a platform for you to automate your tasks, and learning how to properly automate your tasks is the most important part. And if you can start to do that and think about how to strategically architect them, that's going to be what serves you in the future, even if you do start to switch over to, you know, Agent Kit or the newest version, right? Super Agent Builder 10.5 or whatever is going to come out. Did you say that you wanted to make contracts for your clients? Is that right?
Well, proposals.
Have you been using ChatGPT to make your proposals for you at this point?
Yeah, I do a manual process. You know, I'll do some research on Perplexity. I'll use Reloom to create a sitemap and bringing on all of that content into ChatGPT. And, you know, it still takes me an hour or two to generate a good proposal, but that's less than, you know, the day or two that it used to take me. So there's that. But I'd like to be able just to get it to where I hit, you know, give it a decent context at the outset and hit play, and then it goes and does all of those steps on my behalf.
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest, you know, trying to build, like you're saying, like there's basically three sort of aspects to this. One is the perplexity research, then there's the Reloom sort of
And that's just how I do it now. I'm not married to any of that.
But I mean, I feel like a lot of processes are like you're going to need to do some amount of research, right? And then some amount of structure, and then some amount of actual generation. And I think that there is, you know, maybe, you know, value in having those three different pieces, and then just like working on one of them in N8N, right? And just trying to get that to automate through N8N. And then if that goes, you know, faster for you, then okay, that's a little bit more efficiency. And then as that's making you more efficient, now you have more time to work on the second piece and try that, and then try that. I always say this on my coaching calls: don't try to do the whole thing at once. You're going to want to test it out, and then also try to make sure. It does sound like this is something where, you know, the value is there for you. You're doing this regularly enough that it's worthwhile to be able to do it. And then also it sounds like something that, you know, can scale and grow with you. So yeah, I think that I would try to start doing pieces of it. Have you looked through the N8N templates that we have already?
I have not, and N8N is the one, you know, I've used Make and Zapier, but I need to get into N8N. One of my coworkers has been using it quite a bit, and so that's where I'm weak. And I think also being here is going to be a great opportunity to steal good ideas from others. You know, I'm just here to find great things that I can't think of, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that is the point of joining a community, right? I think of those two aspects. One is trying to get some direction so you feel less overwhelmed. Another is that you can also hear us or even see me screw up a bunch of times and realize, oh, it's not just me, right? I think that can be weirdly helpful for all of us, because it feels like, why is this only happening to me? Am I doing something wrong? And it's like, no, you're actually doing something right. Like by having problems the first time you do it, that is, you know, progress. That is, you know, learning how to actually do this, and we all go through it. And the LLMs can be helpful, but then they can also screw a bunch of things up. And automation processes and AI are temperamental and difficult, but yeah, we all are going through it. And then as you're saying, steal/borrow ideas from everyone. I get ideas from here. Like I've started to use GenSpark and Gamma based on recommendations from this community, and they've totally saved me time. And so I think that is another thing in here, is that like trying to keep up with it all yourself is tough, but there is that aspect where somebody in this call is going to recommend something, and it's like, oh, okay, like this person, this actual human being is using this. This isn't just some random post on Instagram and they're swearing by it. Let me try it out. And that typically is, you know, one of your best places to get advice and leads.
Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, and it's nice to be here, and I appreciate the welcome, and I hope to learn a lot while I'm here. So thank you, everybody.
Awesome. I'm going to say your name totally wrong, but I'm going to give it a try. Srinlath, you're on mute. Hey, you're still on mute. You unmuted yourself, or you're really good at just, you know, moving your mouth and not having sounds come out. No, can't hear you. You can type in the chat if you want. Well, now you're frozen. You give it a try. Jason, are you new? I can't tell if I recognize you. You are new.
How's it going, man? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You, I can hear.
Okay, cool.
You got Baby Yoda in the background. That's important. What brings you to the AI Profit Boardroom, Jason?
Can you guys hear me fine? Is it coming out the right microphone?
I can hear you.
Okay,
Totally.
sweet. So I wouldn't call myself an SEO influencer like 3-4 years ago. And I kind of came across Julian when he was at 10K subs and that. And then basically my dad died. I got off making content and stuff. I was just like, I don't want to do this. It was a confidence thing. And then the other day, it was yesterday, I'm scrolling and I see this guy pop up. I'm like, I remember him. I click on his video and he's at like 200-300K subs. And I'm like, okay, he's doing something different. Then I click on the videos and I see, oh, he's using AI to do it. Now, how's he doing this AI stuff? I logged on today, he was live. I started chatting to him live. So yeah, what basically brings me here is I saw the group's live now. I literally just bought it 2 hours ago. I'm like, sweet, we'll jump in. It's around the VAs and setting up VAs to basically, because I know you can automate stuff, but with automations, especially when you're publishing, there's lots of stuff that can go wrong, especially when you're presenting information to the public. Would you recommend going the VA route or working on avatar automations to scale?
So, I mean, I guess so. There's two different ways of doing this. Like, HeyGen, right, is a good platform for doing it, right? But then also, I just saw that Kling AI has a version of this where they'll do up to a minute, and essentially, you know, I think you give them a picture or something, and then they will animate it with like the voice. And you can use. Are you familiar with 11 Labs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Use 11 Labs, and boom, you're off and running. I do still think that there's an aspect where you know, and you might need to fine tune your process a little bit. And it's, I think also, you know, especially with AI, perfection is the enemy of production, I guess.
Automation as well.
Where it's, if you want it to be absolutely perfect every time, then you might be fighting an uphill battle. You know, especially like you're using, say, something like 11 Labs, or even again, like HeyGen, where they're taking text and they're generating, you know, a voice with it. It's going to have portions where it sounds pretty smooth and somebody be like, is that real? And then there's going to be portions where it's like, no, nobody talks like why would you emphasize that syllable right there? That doesn't make sense, right? And I think it does matter like who your audience is. And then really one of the things that I always bring up with all these automations, especially the content gen ones, because, you know, with HeyGen, VO3, Nano Banana, Ray 3, Sora, you know, LLM generators. At this point, you can create blogs and blogs of content, right? You can create books. You can create an entire movie. You can create Instagram posts, YouTube videos, all this stuff. But is it any good, and does anybody want to watch it? Still matters,
Brain
right?
rot, basically, right?
Right. And so if you just say, you know, hey, OpenAI, generate me some script for some concept, and then boom, you take that, you have an agent, HeyGen avatar of yourself, you put that all in there, you put it on YouTube, you know, and you're like, well, where's all my money, right? It's like, yeah, well, nobody wants to watch that necessarily. Like, I mean,
100%.
maybe, you know, and so I think that there is, but if you do have an idea, again, like finding that niche that works using a lot of the same processes that people do use to come up with like good content or even a good channel concept, right? It was like, oh, this is something that people want. And, you know, partially that is what Julian has done here, where it's like, well, people are interested in AI right now, right? People are interested in AI and how it can make the money. So take that and then, you know, sort of in this meta-textual kind of way, he's using AI to make him money. And so it really
manipulated to make money to the offer that is the offer, basically.
Right, exactly. Like, hey, I'm showing you that this is working. You should do what I'm doing. But then also I think that, you know, having a niche within there. But and I know that their YouTube and these platforms are saying that they're going to start to penalize people who are doing AI work. But I also think that again, if you're putting out something, you could put out some fairly high quality work that's good. If as long as it's not absolute AI slop, then, you know, the tools are there. But again, you still need to have good ideas, right? You have to have something that's smart. Like I was telling people last week, I saw there was like there's a couple of different ideas I saw that people were using the new video generators for. One is like Saturday morning cartoon characters that are getting arrested for speeding or for like doing whatever. I was like, okay, like that's a pretty clever concept. And another one where it was like beautiful women and they were getting into a bed, but the bed was like a creme brulee or a cherry pie or something like that. And I was like, okay, yeah, like this looks pretty interesting and cool. And sure, like you could make probably an entire page of something like that and then maybe have a few other ideas. And then not necessarily fully automated at first, kind of get the ideas out there, get it going. But once you've dialed in the formula, then yeah, like you could probably automate large portions of it and, take something that, again, if you're using HeyGen, I used to do video production. I still do video production. You have to rent out a studio, right? Get the green screen studio.
Yeah, it's a lot of,
right.
Yeah.
And so you could already make this way more efficient just by doing HeyGen by yourself, right? Just like, okay, here, I'm going to feed in the script. I'm going to get out the output, take that, do a little bit of editing, throw some logos on. And it's like, all right, I've already saved myself the drive over to the studio to record it. That's basically
like
the time.
5-6 hours.
Right, exactly. So now you've cut that down. So boom, but then once you've got that process down, then you could possibly get it to, it's like, yeah, you just automate the whole thing and you're just doing certain checks on it while it's happening. And now it's taking you 10 minutes per video instead of like an hour per video. I think that's the ultimate goal. But again, it all starts with, you have to have a good idea. And I think that
100%.
a lot of us are going to have our good ideas put to the test, right? I've met so many people who used to say, oh, I have a great idea for a movie. And I'd listen to their idea for a movie and it's like, that's not an idea for a movie. That's just a dream you have. And that's like a scene in a movie. Maybe if you can figure out how to get that to make sense with the rest of an actual narrative. But pretty soon, people are just going to be able to make their own movies. It's like, we're going to find out, did you have a good idea for a movie, or was that always just the worst idea for a movie? And then the same thing with like a YouTube channel where if you have a great idea for a YouTube channel, you can really put it together and not have the same kind of drag where it takes you 10 to 20 hours a week to put together the videos. It's like, yeah, maybe it takes you an hour to do it, but was your idea any good?
So I think my next question is with regards, because I was watching his AI content and I'm like, this is brilliant. I didn't even pick up it was AI the first time. I thought it was just a word. And I actually looked at it and I'm like, oh, this is AI. And then he happened to say, I'm AI as well, which helped. With the screen recording and that, because I watched his tutorial on it, he said you basically just talk a little bit through so your VA knows what to put over and what section. Do you have any like tips on how to do that? Like,
I don't know the exact portion you are talking about. I do know that there are definitely on some of the platforms, you do a recording of yourself first so that it knows like what you're like. But then how it knows what part to, are you saying like where to put B-roll?
Yeah, so I've done HeyGen. I've set up my avatar. I've got me. I'm fine. I've edited that all in so it looks natural. Then is that just manual video editing where I basically feed the script through and do the screen walkthrough with my avatar in the corner and re-record and re-edit over it? Or is there a way to automate that as well? Or not so much?
I'm wondering if it's like sound syncing, right? Like if if he's doing a screen recording and he's talking through it, and then he's using that same audio for the HeyGen or even like the text, and then like can he just sync them with sound syncing to get them to all line up together? Maybe it's something like that. I have not worked on the process with him, so I don't know exactly how he's doing it, but I think that is possibly the way to go. And again, there may be some, I think initially at first, the goal is not to automate it 100%, probably. Otherwise, that is going to get you the worst, not great results. You probably do need to still keep your hands on it, stay human in the loop for a bit. But then as you're doing it, it's like, wait a minute, I'm sure there's a way to automate. This is getting very redundant. And then kind of breaking it down and like looking, it's like, well, how do I automate this specific portion? How do I automate this specific portion?
Gotcha. So you're saying basically automate pieces and then piece them together with a VA or CapCut or Premiere.
Okay. That's how I do most of my stuff, is that I start with kind of like the way that we talked about earlier, where sometimes you have 3 different AI systems that you're using to do something, right? Like I was using OpenAI, I was using ChatGPT 5 to generate content for me for these like documents that I was giving away on LinkedIn, right? So like here's an AIO document on how to make your website more AI search friendly. And so have ChatGPT generate it for me, kind of spend a little bit of time with it, like ask it to do an outline, then give it some feedback on the outline, get it to generate the text. then take that text, put it into Gamma, have Gamma, handle it and do whatever. And so, there's probably a way for me to automate that whole process. But at first, I do think that there is value in being a little bit more hands-on, like working with the AI to really understand its abilities and where it's going to have issues. Yeah. But at a certain point, though, there is going to be a difference between you working with, say, ChatGPT to generate you scripts and working with the OpenAI API through N8N. Like, just the functionality of it is different. And so if you do want to turn this into a workflow, eventually an automated workflow, you should start to switch over to not just using because their platform is going to be different than using it in N8N. And so if you want to start figuring out all the different things you need to do, then you probably want to set up a node in N8N, connect to that, prompt through there, have it generating your scripts through there instead of going through ChatGPT, for instance.
Yeah, because I just saw the sheer volume he was putting out. So I was like, how's this guy putting out a video every 3 hours? It was insane, because I went to his YouTube channel and then I worked out, no, this is AI. And then I was like, okay, how big is the VA team you need to actually get to that level? Or like what systems? Because I went through his stuff and it seemed pretty manual, like you explained. Still, it's like obviously it's not just a push play on N8N and it uploads and it's perfect. There's still human interaction. So to scale to that, to get to the 2-3 million views you guys are doing a month, obviously for lead flow and stuff like that. I don't want to be famous online. I just want leads into the business. And yeah, how big does the VA team look? You obviously got video editors. You've got.
I'm not on that team. I don't work on that at all. It is possible.
Sorry. Yeah.
It might be just one singular person though.
Okay.
Like, so if he has somebody who's not expensive, I can easily imagine them, like you're saying, they're doing multiple videos a day. Yeah, sure. Like,
especially if most of it's automated and you just stick it together.
Automated, right? And then it's just running through, and then that person's just taking in, all the pieces. They kind of know what their steps are, and they're handling it. But then, even then, if you're really paying attention, and again, like, you want to get things off the ground, like get it moving, but then as it's going, the more you see that it's, oh, we're just doing the same thing over and over again. Okay, let's automate that portion. Let's automate, like, just start to take the human out of the loop as you're going. But I feel like the videos I'm seeing, again, like, I don't know for a fact, but I think that it is being done by potentially like one person, and just spend 8 to 10 hours a day. Most of it's automated, it's all just dumping into a Google Drive, grab it all, it's all labeled properly, throw it on a timeline, make sure it makes sense, and then, adjust here or there, upload, and then just pipeline.
Okay, sweet. Last question. Sorry to keep everyone.
That's where you're, so it's all questions.
So I used to create, as I said, I used to create content, and as you know, waves come, like you just said, the AI wave. You can make a video about AI and you'll get more views. How is that correlated into, because you guys are an SEO agency and you put an AI spin on it for the views and stuff. Do you find your lead quality still like good from trend jacking, if that's the word? AI and then putting it on a spin, or would you say it's worth like trend jacking? And what would be the next trend? Obviously AI is massive.
Well, I think
competition side, yeah.
I mean, it's also not just like I was saying at the top, like AI isn't just one thing now. Like AI is everything. And so there are many trends within AI, right? And so, Sora 2 comes out, Nano Banana comes out, Agent Kit comes out, and so there is for sure value. And I think that's partially what helps with this automation system is that if you're we also have like N8N workflows that will help you stay up to date with trends, right, that are using Google Trends and an RSS feed, and it's pulling in all the trends for you. So it's a type of thing where you can be paying attention. Okay, what is the thing that people are most paying attention to in AI right now? Oh, Nano Banana is the biggest thing, right? Or Agent Kit's the biggest thing, or this is the biggest thing. Great. Now, here, let's generate a video based on that. And because the system is so fast, you can be one of the first videos out about it, right?
And steal the views, yeah.
Right. And so then, again, like we also have the built-in community, right? I think there is those two aspects, right? Where he has a great system that automates the process, that can stay up to date on the new micro trends within AI, but then also building a community so that, you know, we're already kind of getting some views and some interest in the content to begin with. You know, cool.
Awesome.
You're welcome. LLMs are ranking videos. LLMs are ranking videos. What do you mean by that, Ian?
Well, I was told when people's been doing searches with the longer videos, LLMs are tending to rank them more, a bit like Google years ago. All the videos are ranking. Google ranks, so videos tend to rank more. That was all I was saying. And then I've just seen something on this, which is about OpenAI. But I think has he got his mic working now? Our friend. I don't know if he wants to chat.
Are you ready to talk? How's your mic doing?
Hello.
Hello. Okay. There we go. Did I pronounce your name even close to being right?
Yes, of course. My name is Srinath. Yes,
Okay.
okay, so Srinath. That's right. I'm from India.
Okay.
And it's my pleasure being here in this great company. I'm sure I'll have a lot of things to learn. But right now, I need some help in creating a lead generation program for one of my clients. Is this the right forum to talk about it or somewhere else?
Go for it. Like right now, so today's Q&A day. Basically anybody who has a question, if you have a question and you really want to get your question out, you can raise your hand or drop it in the chat. But until then, floor is yours. Go for it.
Okay. So the lead generation is for the real estate. I work for a real estate firm where I sell open plots. So I'm trying to find people, mostly they're couples with kids, young kids, and I'm trying to reach them. Can you tell me what is the best way of reaching them or finding ways to lead gen for them? I do have a website. Sorry.
How do you find them now?
Right now, I tried doing Facebook ads, did not work out very well. I have a website. I do write blogs sort of thing. And so not really successful. So I'm trying to find some much more easy way by using AI. So I'm sure I have asked AI many things, but I'm looking for a way to find the way which work best for you people who have experience in lead gen. So can you help me?
Well, I can give you some pointers as much as I can, and potentially some other people on the community can help. So what service are you providing? That's one of the questions from Jason.
I'm selling open plots to young couples with children so that it is a long-term investment for them. Like they buy just land, plain land where they can build their house. But it is little far from the city now. They cannot build a house right now. But in another 5 to 10 years, yeah, definitely it will be developed and a lot of people living around. So that will be a great place to build a house. And the value of the plot will go up by 10 times in another 5 to 10 years. So that's a great opportunity for them to buy it right now for cheap, but it's going to be great later.
Cool. Jason, did you have a comment on this? Go for it.
How's it, brother? How you doing?
Hey, hi, Jason.
Good. I'm not an expert. I did run ads for Remax and some big real estate companies. So I know a thing or two about running ads for real estate. So your turnaround times, obviously, as you said, your sales process is very high, right?
Yes.
So the Facebook thing, obviously, your targeting would need to be within those age parameters, etc. But instead of trying to sell young couples on the deal, because they are probably only going to be able to afford it in a year or two when it comes to fruition. Is that correct?
Yes.
Run ads about the area and how the area is going to be economically better. So like if a hospital or a new school is opening up in the area, another popular thing would be school newsletters. I don't know if you have, school newsletters, put ads in there because those are young people. You target that's like cream of the crop, and it's going to be cheaper than paying Zuckerberg all your money for some dodgy leads. And then also your lead qualification for the Facebook ads. Do you have like a form people click in and fill out before they actually submit the lead to your company?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I have. So, no, I don't have. I have it, but I don't use it. What I use is I have a WhatsApp message. So when they click on the link, it will directly open that in their WhatsApp, and all they have to do is just say, "Hi, I want to know more about it," and that's how I get in touch with them and then I respond to them.
And what are the quality of those leads like?
And not great. Most of the time I got brokers, not
That's-
actual customers.
So I was just going to say, so I've run, as I said, lots of lead gen campaigns. You need to have that qualification process in place. When they click on the ad, it verifies them. Are you between this age? Are you married? Are you a mom? Are you a dad? Are you interested in this area? Do you have this budget? Before it even comes through, else you're just going to get spammed with job seekers, brokers. It's a very simple tweak, but it'll really help your ads. And then, sorry, last point. Once you do that, you set up your tracking pixel, you take them to another page before you even take them to WhatsApp to get the email. These are people that are qualified. Your tracking pixel needs to go on there because that's where you put your retargeting campaigns on, to retarget again, to remind them. Yeah, that's just from my experience of running ads. That'll help the quality in that, because everyone says Facebook ads don't help, but they do. You just have to set them up properly to qualify leads. And if someone doesn't qualify, you literally say, sorry, we can't help you. And they're not in your pixel, because you want to build your pixel for your retargeting. That's where you make your money.
So this, and then to piggyback on what Jason is saying, so I was talking to a client last week and they run a Google Ads agency. And part of the big problem that they're having is that, so if you're doing an e-commerce ad where you're sending somebody to a website and they're going to buy something, then that's not really an issue. But if you're trying to do lead gen, then as Jason's saying, you will get a lot of spammers or people that are doing things that you don't want. And the problem that you have is that essentially you're going to create the wrong feedback loop for Facebook, Google, or any of these different platforms, because these spammers are the ones who are clicking on your ads. And then so it's like, oh, okay, that's who you want to, now it sees that as providing you value because you're getting clicks, right? And so it's like, okay, that's the audience we want to start sending it to. And so if you are not doing if you're not taking steps to get rid of the spammers, it's just going to get worse and worse, because now that's who it thinks you want. And then so doing something that has them go through extra steps, I think, is necessary so that you can not just get that ad to, you know, be better and to have qualified it, but then to also get yourself out of a bad population of users that you don't want to use. And then to go back to the point that I was bringing up earlier, I think that there could be a lot of value in you using ChatGPT or Claude along with Gamma or GenSpark, one of those platforms, and put together a guide for a land investment for young people or something like that, or a guide for whatever sort of information that would be what your target audience would want, right? Or like how to finance loans for lands if you're, you know, a newlywed, whatever, like investing for your children with land. Any of these different guides, I don't really know your business, but it should be 10 to 20 pages long. Again, ChatGPT, along with your knowledge, can put together the written content in 20 minutes, right? It really doesn't take that long. I would like massage it a little bit, give it some feedback, and then take it to Gamma probably for $10 a month. It will make you nice looking, look good enough, and then offer those, like, you know, hey, if you want your free land investment guide for newlywed couples, or whatever you want to call it, right? Or how to refinance, blah, blah, blah. Then they're supposed to submit their contact information, their email address. And that's just going to get people to really want to fill something out, right? Because they're getting something for free. And then now you're targeting the right people properly and not just a bunch of spammers. And then again, you can generate 5 or 10 of these things in, you know, a day essentially. And then now you have all this different stuff to give away. You can really just start to, instead of advertising your services, what you're advertising is your free guides, or even, as Jason's talking about previously, start making YouTube videos about it, right? And like, you know, here's videos on how to invest. And it doesn't even need to be you. It could be an avatar, right? You're feeding these scripts into it, and now you have these YouTube videos. You could be generating one a day if you start to figure it out in your spare time really easily, and that can start drawing people to your business. Instead of, as you're saying, like if you just do the simplest Facebook ads at this point in time for both Facebook and Google, most likely you're just going to get a bunch of spam, and you're going to be reinforcing that algorithm to give you spammers, because that's what's working. As far as they know, that's what's working for you.
All right. Awesome. So I had one more idea. I do see, when I look at Instagram, I do see lots of young couples with their kids. They're celebrating birthdays. They put their photos on Instagram, and most of the photographer listings, I can find them. When I search them. So I want to do a direct message to them. I just want a strategy of what is the best way to approach them with a DM. And if possible, automate the process of DMing them, and then they can get back to me. If you have a workflow of how to go about it.
So again, I think that your first step is figuring out the approach, right? And potentially the approach is
Offer.
As I'm saying, like maybe you're offering them this free guide or whatever, like figuring out if they want that first. And then once you have the approach, the other thing is then also finding these people. Potentially, I guess what you could do is have something that's connect to the Instagram API, going through your feed, and then possibly there's a way of having it sending all the images to a VLM to analyze them and say, is this an image of a family with kids? And then that would potentially be identifying the posts or the people that you're looking for. But there also might just be easier filters in Instagram/Facebook marketing where, well, I guess that's different because that's just going to send them ads. That's not going to allow you to DM them. So yeah, off the top of my head, I don't know exactly how to do it, but theoretically, you could have a system that is checking the posts to see what the content is. And then from there, if they are posting the type of content you want, then it would pull their Instagram account, and then you would just automatically send them a message. But again, first, I would figure out what message you're sending, make sure that it's good, and that it's working, and then spend the time to automate the whole thing. Because if the process doesn't really work, if you're sending out these messages, if you send out, say, 200 of these messages and nobody's clicking on it, there's no point in putting together the AI automation to do it, right?
How do I validate the message?
What do you mean by validate?
How do I validate the offer? I can create few offers, but how can I check or verify if the offer is catching on to people, catchy enough?
And are they responding to you, right? Or are they, are you getting any, or you can create a separate form that they're going to, like, is anybody filling out your form? And if they're not, then this system is not working, right?
Okay. And do you think I should copy any of the Facebook ads from the Facebook ad library?
Potentially, yeah, I think you can. But again, I think that you need to, as we're, if you're doing direct message, that's different than just a Facebook ad, right? Where the Facebook ad, anybody's seeing it and you have no idea what the spammers are. If you're sending direct messages to people, then you don't have to worry as much about the spamming aspect, and you don't need, I think, as complicated as a system. You just need to see if you're able to generate a message that anybody's interested in, right?
Is there a checklist of what all should be there in a best offer, which we can put across? Checklist of these are the things that should be there, sort of thing.
I mean, part of it is going to be specific to your actual offer, right? But you do want to have a call to action, you do want to have a value proposition, things like that. These are sort of basic. And again, like, I think that if you want a more in-depth, good checklist, you could just add ChatGPT for it, right? Like, give it your information and it would probably do fairly well. Ian, you have your hand up. Do you have a comment on this? Oh, and then Jason. Twice, Jason.
Yeah, I'm just saying that a few things. It's just a spin-off when not necessarily running ads, but there was keeping in track with the big guys running the ads and stuff. A lot of the time they'd find a different way, like grandparents and stuff. Because where are you in the world that's got this land?
In India, in Hyderabad.
Oh, India. Yes, well, I thought someone mentioned about the US and stuff, the grants and things. So I'm thinking on the lines of just a spin-off where You're attacking the same market, trying to get the young people. They're not really interested. They're not thinking. I don't know if there's diaries out there. They call them diaries, or what the family gives them money or whatever. I'm just thinking an idea could be potentially attack and go ads to the grandparents, go ads to the higher level. Why not leave your children some money and let them buy the land and pass it down to them? It's another angle. A lot of times with copying ads, copy the ads, but see what pops, see what works, and it's all down to the same colors, the same this, the same, as you know. I mean, you got to look at the ones that work, and the ads that are running still have been running for a long time. Always look at how long the ads have run in that ads library, because it tends to tell you if it's been running a long time, it's been working. If you look at recent, you don't know, there's no track, plus you can't see the whole stats of the analytics on it anyway. But like Jason was saying, with the lookalike audience and stuff, if you start getting some people in buying, it will come in, create a lookalike audience, and then use that and then run them. But I'd look at, spin it on its head personally. I'd look to attack grandparents and say, before you, no, it's not before you die, but technically it is, before you die, leave some to your family, buy them a plot of land. They're not ready for it yet. Buy the land, you've left it to them. When then they're technically, you buy it and put it in their name, and then in the UK, if it's 7 years and that, you then get rid of inheritance tax in the UK. Don't matter India. It's just another angle. It's just a thought. But yeah, we're all here. We're all here to help. At the end of the day, this is what I've come into communities for, not necessarily what you've been taught. It's what's in the community. It's people, it's the knowledge, it's short stepping that step to someone's done that, the pain before you. And then, like someone's always said to me, it's not, they're not interested in how you're doing it, they're not interested in you, they're just interested in, will it do, like I wrote down there. They don't care about you, just will it solve the pain point, will it solve them? Now them two young kids and that at that age, do they really know they want to buy some land? They may be not bothered about the house and that now. They may be down the road, they will, but you've got to sell the dream to them. I'd rather sell it to someone who already knows the dream, if you're with me, like the grandparents, just as thought, or the parents, just as a thought. I'll leave that there. That's all.
Thank you, Ian. That was helpful. I'll surely work on the grandparents. I want to see if Jason has anything to offer.
Hey, bro. So I'll give you some source. So I haven't used it in this app in a while. So automation. So do you have community groups in Facebook in India for the areas you're targeting?
Yes. They have groups.
So you need to optimize. You have a Facebook account, right?
Yes.
You need to optimize your cover photo to your offer.
Okay.
Then there's this app called friendconnected.io. I haven't used it in quite a few years, and it basically goes into the group. Make sure you set filters to not hit the admins, else they're going to know you messaging their group, and it'll target people within the group that have a specific job or in a location that is listed in their profile. And you leave that running locally on your computer, and it'll send like 100 messages out, and you can go through a whole group sending messages. You obviously need to be careful your account doesn't get banned or spammed or whatnot. So what it does is it sends a friend request and then sends a message, because also if you just send a message, you go to the request. So people naturally will go to your profile, click on you, and see what you have to offer. But as I said, it would probably be better to almost get into young couples, I don't know, India, in a particular area. You have to find the group and cultivate a message. But yeah, it's called friendconnected.io. I haven't used it in years. I don't know if you have to buy it through someone, but yeah.
Okay, sure. I will definitely look into it. Seems like a great idea. I will definitely work on it. Thank you, Jason.
Okay. And then we only have a little bit longer in this call. Cindy, are you new? Is this your?
Yes, I'm brand new.
Brand new, brand spanking new. Cindy, what
I'm
brings
brand new to the group.
Okay. What brings you to AI Profit Boardroom?
So I am a real estate agent, and I am doing launching, and I have training that I've been doing for non-techie realtors with how to use it. But what I see is the future, and I can already tell, and I'm doing some training on my own, is the automation, right? So in particular, learning, whether it's Make, Zapier, N8N, I don't know, but the reality is that we wear about 10 hats, and so the ability to help people automate that, whether I offer it as a service or whether I teach them, like that is obviously where things are going. And so, I've been following Julian on X, and appreciating his stuff for a long time. And so got me at the join now for whatever 40 something. And so I said, let me go play with the cool kids. So, So that's it. I mean, I have a computer science business degree. My first career was with IBM. I did that, but I've been in real estate for 20 years, and I actually am an officer in the largest state association in the country. So really, my wheelhouse is that so many realtors are ripped off by people with shiny objects that don't do anything real for them. So making sure that they can either do it themselves or hire someone that's going to actually do it and be legit. So that's kind of it. So
today is shiny object day, it seems like. But I mean, I guess every day in AI is shiny object day. And you're right. Like, I think that I saw this last year. I saw this statistic that said that 25% of all startups have are AI based, and probably this year it might be even larger, right?
Yeah.
And so people are investing in and then pushing a bunch of AI solutions that are junk most of the time. Probably most of them do not work well and don't help you out. There obviously are some out there that do work. And I think that, as I brought up earlier, like, you're already doing your workflows. And so, like, what you want to automate or what would help you. And if it would help you, it'd probably help your the other real estate agents that are like you, right?
Right.
And so I would, again, start kind of putting together a list of your workflows that you do, the different things like lead generation, email outreach, scheduling, whatever it is. So find the ones that are taking up the most amount of time and are the most busy worky. Look on our N8N templates to see if any of those sort of match in some way what you're doing. They're probably not going to be exact one-to-one, but they're going to, and you might need a few different ones. Where it's like, oh, okay, like this one, is kind of doing what I want, but it uses WhatsApp, but I want to do it with Gmail or a regular email through IMAP or something. And then this other one has the nodes for Gmail and IMAP. All right, here, let me just get in there, start to mess around with them a little bit, connect them together, ask Claude or GPT to help me through it, and and then test them out, right? Like, do a little pilot testing to see if it's working. And then if you do have some working ones, you could be your own sort of version of Julian, where you're specifically doing N8N workflows for people in the real estate agency,
right?
But I think, again, like, the people who are in the best positions are the ones who are already doing something, and then they want to automate that. I think too often we're trying to automate something we've never done before, or that we have not proven out to be successful or profitable. But if you know that this is something that you're doing that's taking up your time, and then you know it well, then that gives you that insight. Okay, I just need to replicate this exact task, and then I'm good to go.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So, and again, I've been luckily, because of things I've been for 3 years anyway in my industry, training and giving away, just helping people for, so when I started, monetizing training and I'm just getting ready to launch a membership site, like, luckily I have credibility, like, I opened up a Facebook group and I had 1,200 people like the first week, which is not normal, for most people. Right. So, but I also am someone that I always show the business case, and I'm very much like results oriented. I have a good business. So all those things I don't just, it's not one of those, it could, I'm like, no, let me show you. Like, I did a Sora video, and again, it wasn't even great. It was me like on a dolphin, whatever. But the point was 10,000 people engaged with it. So, I said it was, 35 times normal. So I say to people, I'm staying curious, because I'm not judging. If it's bringing conversations, if it's bringing me people, like, then I got to keep trying different things, and then I'll tell you what I found. Right. And so.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like, you already have good engagement on your content, which is really the hardest part. Now you just need to be putting out that content. As I was saying, you could use something like HeyGen to start just putting out a bunch of real estate content, maybe not necessarily AI involved, but some of it could be, where it's just introducing people to tools or whatever. But okay, tomorrow, because our time is up, tomorrow we are doing a Dr. Jeff special. I still haven't totally figured out what it will be, but it should be great. Thursdays,